Imagine a brand like no other, a whisper of speed purring across sun-drenched boulevards. A symbol of luxury, a roar of engineering prowess, a name synonymous with success, Mercedes-Benz. But behind the gleaming chrome and the silken whispers of leather seats lies a past as twisted as a mountain road, a story intertwined with ambition, opportunism, and a chilling entanglement with one of history's darkest chapters, the Nazi regime. Hi, welcome to Business Insights. Today, we peel back the layers of this iconic brand, not to celebrate its legacy, but to confront the shadows lurking beneath the frame. Let's get started. From humble gears to a glittering showcase, 1886 to 1933. Our journey begins not in the roar of racetracks, but in the dusty workshops of two German dreamers, Karl Benz and Gottlieb Daimler. Men obsessed with the horseless carriage, their sputtering inventions laid the foundation for an automotive empire. Mergers and alliances followed, like gears meshing perfectly, culminating in the birth of Mercedes-Benz in 1926, a brand poised to conquer the world stage. These weren't just cars, they were rolling testaments to success, whispers of a life lived at the absolute pinnacle. Hollywood's elite craved them, royalty basked in their exclusivity, and captains of industry saw them as trophies earned in the cutthroat game of global business. The pre-war years were a roaring 20s for Mercedes-Benz. Their silver arrows, sleek and menacing, dominated racetracks across Europe, etching the brand name in the minds of millions. Their factories, once humming with the creation of these luxury carriages, became hives of innovation, pushing the boundaries of speed and design. They weren't just building cars, they were painting canvases of automotive art, each curve and contour speaking of a world where technology met desire. But this glittering path, bathed in the neon lights of luxury, would soon take a sharp turn into the darkest alley of history. With the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party in 1933, a storm cloud engulfed Germany. Mercedes-Benz, like many, faced a stark choice: resist or collaborate. Initially hesitant, they eventually succumbed to the regime's seductive whispers of lucrative contracts and access to resources. What could have been a noble resistance morphed into a chilling pact with the devil, a decision that would forever stain their chrome-plated legacy. A pact signed in blood, Mercedes-Benz and the Nazi web, 1933 to 1945. Mercedes-Benz factories, once humming with the creation of luxury cars, now churned out the gears of war. Trucks hauling tanks to the Eastern Front, aircraft engines roaring in the bellies of Luftwaffe bombers, and armored vehicles rolling towards conquered territories. This became the new reality. Their research labs, once focused on horsepower and speed, now calibrated the thrust of these war machines, their engineers fine-tuning the instruments of destruction. They weren't merely bystanders. They were active participants in the Nazi regime's machinery of oppression and exploitation. Forced labor, a stain on humanity, became the fuel for their wartime engine. Concentration camp prisoners, their faces etched with despair and their bodies racked with exhaustion, toiled under brutal conditions in Mercedes-Benz factories. Their lives, their bodies, their dignity, all sacrificed on the altar of corporate profiteering and warped ambition. Stories of torture, starvation, and death seeped from the cracks of these factories, whispers of a darkness that forever tarnished the Mercedes-Benz brand. The extent of their collaboration is a chilling testament to the seductive power of greed and ambition. From designing the engines of tanks and aircraft to profiting from slave labor, Mercedes-Benz became deeply enmeshed in the Nazi war machine. They weren't just building cars, they were building the instruments of a regime that sought to plunge the world into darkness. Facing the ghosts in the rearview mirror, confronting a tarnished legacy, 1945 to present. With the fall of the Third Reich in 1945, a deafening silence descended upon the Mercedes-Benz empire. Post-war Germany, in its desperate rush to rebuild, chose to turn a blind eye to the skeletons in corporate closets. The ghosts of forced labor, of collaboration with the genocidal regime, haunted the factories and boardrooms but remained unspoken, shrouded in a thick fog of denial and amnesia. This silence continued for decades, punctuated only by murmurs of historical investigations and whispers of lawsuits. It wasn't until the late 20th century, spurred by a surge in historical research and growing public pressure, that the ghosts of the past were dragged into the open. Investigative journalists unearthed mountains of evidence detailing the extent of Mercedes-Benz's wartime activities. Lawsuits were filed by survivors of forced labor, their voices piercing the corporate silence with demands for justice and compensation. Facing mounting pressure and a tarnished brand image, Mercedes-Benz was finally forced to confront its dark past. Commissioned studies confirmed their wartime collaboration, forcing them to issue apologies and acknowledge their role in the atrocities committed by the Nazi regime. These apologies, however, felt hollow to many. They were seen as mere band-aid solutions, inadequate responses to the depths of their involvement. Questions lingered about the true extent of their collaboration, the profits earned from slave labor, and the meager compensation offered to the victims. The shadow of the past continued to cast a long, chilling shade over Mercedes-Benz. Even as they attempted to distance themselves from their wartime activities, the echoes of suffering and exploitation refused to fade. The ghosts of concentration camp workers remained tethered to the gleaming chrome of their luxury cars, a constant reminder of the moral debt that remained unpaid. Beyond apologies, weaving a new road towards redemption, present and beyond. Today, Mercedes-Benz stands at the crossroads. While their acknowledgement of the past is a step in the right direction, the journey towards true redemption is long and arduous. They've made efforts to address their dark history through educational initiatives and memorials, but these gestures only scratch the surface of the moral debt they owe. To truly break free from the shadow of the past, Mercedes-Benz must commit to far-reaching actions that demonstrate a genuine commitment to ethical practices and social responsibility. This commitment must go beyond mere words and symbolic gestures. It requires deep-seated changes in their corporate culture, a complete overhaul of their ethical framework. They must actively support research and education initiatives that explore the darkest chapters of their history, ensuring that the horrors of their wartime collaboration are never forgotten. Moreover, they must establish comprehensive reparations programs for the surviving victims of forced labor and their families, offering not just financial compensation but also sincere apologies and recognition of their suffering. Looking beyond the past, Mercedes-Benz's path towards redemption is also interwoven with their present and future actions. Their ambitious sustainability goals, investments in electric vehicles, and pledges for carbon neutrality hold the potential for a brighter future. However, these steps must be undertaken with true transparency and accountability. Their commitment to environmental responsibility cannot be a mere distraction from the sins of the past. It must be a genuine effort to build a better future. The road to redemption for Mercedes-Benz is a long and challenging one, paved with the ghosts of the past and the demands of a present reckoning. Whether they choose to truly grapple with their dark history and embrace a future defined by ethical practices and social responsibility, or remain tethered to a legacy tarnished by collaboration and exploitation, remains to be seen. The journey has only just begun, and the world watches with a critical eye, waiting to see what kind of company Mercedes-Benz will ultimately become. What do you think about this topic? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Business Insights. I'll see you in the next video.